Welcome to day 8 of our journey in Psalms. Today we will be going over Psalms 8 and what parts stood out to us.
The first thing that I really loved was that this psalm started and ended the same way. O Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. I thought that was, it was so great that you had to start it and end it that way. And I would like to read verses 1 and 2 from the Clear Word translation. It says, O Lord, our Lord, your excellence can be seen everywhere on earth. Your glory is written across the heavens. Children look up at the sky and praise you. The great expanse of the heavens reveals your mighty power and silences your enemies. And when I read that, it makes me think every day on my drive in, I am just greeted with a brand new sunrise. And to me, every day is just magnificent. And it's different every day. And I always tell my children as we're driving, I'm like, look, God painted this for us today. This was His creation for us, just for us to enjoy. So that just, when I read that, it really made me think of those daily drives and just how magnificent that sky can be every day.
The part that stood out to me is verse 4, when David says, "What is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you visit him?" And this is a very deep psalm, and it's actually repeated in Job chapter 7, verse 17, and Hebrews chapter 2, verse 6. But the first thing that stands out to me is how confident that David is when he says, "You are mindful of him." There is no doubt in David's mind. And knowing what we know about David's character, David had highs and he had lows. And so he had an experience with God where God was faithful with him even when he was at his worst. And when he says, "You are mindful of him," when you think about the earth, God did not create the earth for himself. He created the earth for his creation, like a child does with the fish. You get the bowl and the water and you put the goldfish in it. So in that way, everything about reality shows that God is mindful of us. And I like what Job says in Job chapter 7:17. Job says, "What is man that you should exalt him, that you should set your heart upon him, that you attend to him every morning?" And it's through what I get from this is through struggle and perseverance that we realize that God every day thinks about us, and every day He's with us, and our reality itself speaks of how God is just mindful of us. And because of that, we're able to, in our best attempt, to magnify that love to others. And so that's what stood out to me. I hope this is a blessing to you, as much of a blessing to you as it was to us.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope what you heard and what you saw was a blessing to you. For our challenge, I encourage you to think of 5 things that you're grateful for. And I encourage you, if you can, throughout this time to keep a thankful journal, writing each day the 5 things that you're thankful and grateful for. After you've written them down, whether in a journal, on your phone, maybe in a piece of paper somewhere, on a notebook, I encourage you to share those 5 things with someone, whether it be your spouse, your family, your kids, your neighbor, your coworker, on your social media posts, and say, "Hey, these are the 5 things I'm grateful for today." And after you do that, I want you to pray about those 5 things, and throughout the day, thank God for those 5 things. At the same time, we're also doing a challenge of being complaint-free for the next 30 days. If you have a wristband as the ones that we've provided for complaint-free, or maybe just a watch that you wear, And if at any point throughout the day you think of a negative thought or you have a complaint and are ungrateful, what you need to do is switch that band or that watch from one hand to the other. So let's say I have a negative thought. I'm switching the band on my right hand to my left hand. And so now every time I look down and I feel something's missing, I realize that, hey, it's on my other hand because I had a negative thought. Hopefully together, in these 30 days, we can learn to train our minds to not think negatively and to be grateful for all that God has done together.